Caleb has the same thing that I do sometimes. We say but his like are like out of control. His was every other word on Monday. On Tuesday, I was like, all right, let's relax a little bit. But and by the way, don't let anybody tell that there isn't such thing as a stupid question. I will not name who asked the nigga, does your dad speak for you? But that was a dumbass question. I'm sorry.
Were they white?
Well, doesn't
Come on
he?
now. That's two. That was two. That was.
In that reporter's defense, isn't his dad his agent? So to a degree, like, isn't Carl Caleb's agent?
I don't know.
He don't have an agent.
No, he don't have an agent.
I thought he acts as his agent.
No.
Isn't his
he has like a whole collective.
He has a whole team. Yeah.
Well, either way, he has said more than once that his dad and his mom are his best friends. So, like, again, I understand, but yeah, he's a grown man. Yeah, you got to.
And that's what he was trying to tell us too. He was like, "Nah, I shut him down." Like, and he did say, "I'm a grown man." So I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna get him hot." But to answer your question, Bang, yes, there was only 2 black dots in that crowd. Me and Herb Howard. that is it. Shout out to Herb. But I think for me, we talked about this 2 weeks ago when the news came out about the article, and a lot of people were. I think more national people making a big deal about it. There's very few times where Bears fans and Bears media are all on one accord, and with this one we were like, okay, one, he wasn't wrong. He was saying everything that we were saying. Really not just only during draft time, but our whole existence watching, being a fan, or covering this team is true. And also, he's here now. So it doesn't matter. Like, and what you got to give him more respect is knowing all the crap that he went through. He was solid last year. He could have been like, nah, this is what I was talking about, and this is what I was worried about. And so for when he came out on Tuesday, a lot of people last week didn't like how he didn't come out and talk right away. Ben Johnson really came out there and gave his statement. And then Caleb came out and talked this week. And that's why I loved about it. You can tell wasn't a PR cracked statement, as you can see from all the he was saying. But he didn't deny anything, which is what I love too. Don't lie about anything. He didn't deny it. And it is what it is. To me, it's a dead issue. I think it was Adam Hogue who asked, is there anything else from the book that is going to be coming out? Because the book does drop like a week after, like during week 2 or something like that. And he was like, nah, that was just about it. So I like that he addressed it. It's over with. He said it was a distraction. So let's just move on, man. That's just pretty much why, man. When I think that Caleb has handled this with grace. Caleb has handled this whole last 13, 14 months he's been in Chicago with grace because of everything that comes around being the quarterback of the Chicago Bears and being the quarterback of a team that hasn't had a good quarterback really ever. You had your little small bright spots with Sid Luckman. Nobody on this podcast was alive when Sid Luckman was good. I think my father might have been too if he was alive. I don't know. Now that's how long Sid Luckman was. Jim McMahon, he was okay, whatever, and we all know about Jay Cutler. So this franchise really hasn't been anything. And I do like that, there's full support from everybody in that locker room. And just what I've seen in my 3 weeks being up there, post Ben Johnson being hired, it's just I'm not trying to, make too much of things because the games have to be played, but it feels like adults are finally in the room, and which is something that we've all been asking for. Courtney, I'm gonna go to you first. Obviously, this is a story that's been in the Chicago market, but what's your opinion on it and how you feel about his reaction to it?
I think it's a non-story. Obviously, I know we're in that weird time of the year where people have to make something out of nothing. Yes, exactly what Orlando said. It's such a non-story. And again, do I ever think that they were actually going to try to like circumvent getting drafted to no. Like he said, it was just thoughts. I do fully believe that once Caleb sat down with the Bears and had a conversation about the direction that the franchise would be going in from that point. And yeah, obviously it wasn't a great rookie season, not necessarily his fault, but now he's in a good system with good leadership. They've put the pieces in place together for him to be successful next season. So yeah, I think it's such a non-story. And I'm really just looking forward for the real football to start so we can just shut all this shit up.
Yeah, we about to enter the most, even though the
sports
NFL has
purgatory. It's sports purgatory.
Yes, it really is. It really is sports, and from really every sport. Because even if you're a diehard baseball fan, June ain't the most exciting of months. It's the month before the trade deadline, month before All-Star game.
July is the best month for baseball.
July is supposed. I don't know. September might be the best month for baseball.
I mean, I love July simply because it's All-Star game month. And again, you start approaching that trade deadline. So then you start to get a sense of who's going to be moved, where they're going to be moved to. It's very exciting for me.
Once you hit June 1st, it's more so like these are the bums and these are the people that are actually
right. Yeah, we know who the bums are.
It's not start no more once we hit June.
By June, I think you know what kind of team you have. And it's just a matter of what you need to add or what you need to be thinking about draft wise. But yeah, we're in sports purgatory, we're in NFL purgatory, and that's when these stories are gonna be met. Like even reporting this, like I'm gonna kiss my own ass here. I was able to come up with a 5-minute video. I'm just gonna throw more interviews there. There's not really that much said about OTA practice. Like it's not really that much said about OTA practice. Like it's May and these guys are thinking about their vacation that they have in like a week. But Bang, what's your thoughts about how Caleb responded to the whole story?
I thought Caleb responded like a vet. Like how he responded, how he took ownership of it. It was thoughts. We looked at everything. But and what he said was the thing that I had said a couple of weeks ago, the thing that's missing. And that's and for national media, let me say, I understand national media, this being the story. He's the #1 pick in the draft. Chicago Bears, charter franchise. Everything that he said that he didn't want to happen happened the first year. You fire your coach, all of that stuff. But everything that he said wasn't necessarily new to us. We was thinking that. I remember when I talked about on Some Dude about how possibly he can do the Eli Manning stuff. I said this before the season was over with. So it's like, no, I get it. But I loved how he handled it. And when he said, what's missing in this is we went to the meeting. We went through everything, and I came back and I said I wanted to be a Bear. That's the whole thing that's missing out of this because that's not as salacious. Like he went through the whole process, met with the team, did his 24, met with the team, and was like, nah, I'm with this shit. Which I think is a lesson to learn, however, for him and his father, that I don't think they were really thinking when they was talking to Chef Wickersham and others. And I don't think Chef Wickersham had anything malicious or wanted anything malicious to come out anyway, because he even was like, yo, they went through the process and ultimately he said, after going through the process, I want to be a Bear. He said that on every platform that he was on. But I think it's a lesson learned for Caleb and his father that you are a quarterback. You're the #1 pick in the draft. You're in the 3rd biggest market in the country. Damn near anything you say is going to be news. So pay attention on how you word things.
Yeah, and also too, people just like the Bears and Bears fans being the butt of jokes. That's just also what it comes down to. Oh, I wonder what Bears fans gonna feel about this. Like it's very annoying. Dante, what's your thoughts on how Caleb handled this situation?
I appreciate the way that he handled it, and it's much like the lead up to the draft, where I was like, once he started talking, things started to make more sense. And what this was the exact same way. You said the fact he didn't deny anything, I appreciate that, because I mean it's nothing that we haven't heard or we haven't said ourselves about the Chicago Bears and the quarterback position. So it's just the national media doing what they do, trying to stir up things, and like he didn't lie. So at no point was I like, oh man, this is how he feel. And obviously now, like you said, he has his head coach. We're putting a lot of resources into the offensive line. We have the weapons on the perimeter. So now it's like, what we gonna do? So I mean, I think it's one of those things where this is a true story, a true statement. The book is real. It happened. It's something that happened in the past, and it's like a lot of people want to react to it or get nervous about now, but it's like, bro, he's here and they've given him everything he wants. So just let it rock out. So for me, I'm done with it. It was never a situation where I was worried, and I feel like JR said, he handled it like a vet. And I think moving forward, there won't be any issue with the Bears.
Catch I'm Not Gonna Hold You, hosted by Scott Lewis, every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on HNB Media and the Barber's Chair Network.